What did it fail to do? Oh, weird. And welcome
What's up? What's up? What's up?
to Culture Vulture Radio.
Here we
Your-
are, smack dab in the middle of the weekend, Saturday night, right betwixt the butt cheeks of the weekend. It's that time where it's like you got your last chance to get a little crazy if you want, because it's Saturday night. You can still recoup Sunday if need be, but you're still
Yes.
facing one last day before back to the dreaded 5-day bullshit.
Yeah. I, of course, am Connor, joined with Sean.
Sean, what's up?
Like, subscribe, share. Throw it out there, everybody. Oh,
Cheers,
yeah.
everybody.
By the way, if you don't have your drink, grab your fucking drink.
Here you go. So, what do we got going on, Connor?
Not much,
It's,
man.
Another late one.
Yeah, Streamlabs decided to delete all the fucking sound on the intro and outro, which was cool. We said 9:30 to ourselves, and it's way past that now.
Technical difficulties. You always got to.
But it's always technical difficulties, especially when you have Windows.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, is that was like, so I did one with G yesterday, and I was showing her. It was like a short little special one that we did, but I was showing her all the RV, like RV7 and shit like that, and the IRL community, giving her that introduction, which, by the way, she totally into after a while, because it's so
man.
these people are so self-destructive, and it's hilarious. So got her into that, but something told me the day before, go check all your settings. Dude, we couldn't get anything working, and then finally I was like, because that Windows keeps updating, even though I've turned the updates off, and I like, dude, I was just flipping, and then I ended up going back to OBS. OBS had the same issue, and then all of a sudden I'm looking through the settings, and the Windows update changed the name of all the mics to these random numbers, and I just switched one setting, and it all went back, and I was like, you piece of fucking shit.
Yeah, Mike's usually anything sort of signal wise comes in a random thing of numbers and sequence of numbers and stuff, and it's up to your software to kind of give it a name, make it something that like a human can understand.
Yeah, no, it was, I don't know, it was shitty. It was shitty.
Yeah.
How was your week, dude?
I was all right. Very busy working, going for promotion and then promotion slash like kind of relocation, but it's only like a couple blocks up, so it's not really far. It's just a new space opening up. But some studying going on, certified, and trying to get certified in a few places, and it's always good and stuff. It's always good, but things are actually going to start getting crazier as far as travel. So I take the train from Ronkonkoma, we're on Long Island, New York, and train from Ronkonkoma to Penn Station. One shot. It's usually maybe one train in the morning out of like 15 that you actually have to transfer to Jamaica. But now they took half the trains, and half the trains are now destined for the new Grand Central Terminal, which isn't really convenient. It's only 10 blocks from Penn Station, so it's not like it's a drastic difference uptown or downtown. But so now half the trains you have to transfer Jamaica sit there for like 10 minutes and wait. it adds up to like, like anywhere from like 10 to like 25 minutes to your train ride per one way. So I'm already doing 4 hours a day in travel, so that adds an extra, 30
Jamaica's a
minutes.
shithole too, which sucks. Waiting at that train
Yeah,
station sucks.
it's also that platform seems like it's like a million feet up in the air, like you're on top of a mountain because it's just so windy and cold up there, almost freezing. And the whole reason I live in Patchogue, and there's a Patchogue train station, but I take it from Ronkonkoma just because I don't want to wait in the fucking platform. I don't want to freeze my ass off. No, I just don't want to have to transfer. I like having my nice comfy seat. But
Oh, you're
Long
all
Island
for
Railroad,
comfort. Look at me, a
MTA,
big
they're all
comfort
about
guy.
sticking it up our ass and taking $20 one way for a fucking train ride.
Yeah,
Terrible.
aren't they? Aren't they upping the fee again?
Oh yeah, they're gonna be upping it very soon. They're gonna have to justify their whole Grand Central friggin' thing, which like I said doesn't really help. I've also heard it's like over double 10 or 10-12 minute walk from the train to the subway from the Grand Central terminal, depending where you're going. But versus like Penn Station where you get out of the train and like you walk up to the ACE or the 123 and you're there in like 2 minutes, not even 30 seconds if you want. But now that it's not convenient. I just have no idea why they built it. Plus, you're already going into Penn Station. You're going on like 32nd, 34th Street, whatever that area. But why don't you make a train that goes in either really far down south or downtown Village or something that goes really far up north, something that's a drastic difference than just going 10 blocks north. Like, oh, we can get you in at 34th Street or 32nd Street, but we'll get you at 42nd Street too. It's like that doesn't really help you. You built a whole fucking tunnel and all of that over 10 blocks. It's like it's just to me it seems stupid. Just you could have done more. You could have went a little further. Go up towards the park. Go towards like 60th. That makes more sense. Something like that. We can already get in towards Times Square. We're if we take Penn Station, we're 10 little short blocks. That's not even a 10-minute walk. But whatever. I'm not a designer of streets
Not
and
an
transit
architecture.
railways. What do I fucking know? Just a commuter.
Do you remember a couple weeks ago I played you the clip of Mersh on Nightwave? He was talking about he mentioned me in the whole story. So last night, he
The
obviously
Tinkle for sale.
Tinkle for
Your
sale.
lemonade stand.
Yeah, it was like the caps for sale guy, but with Tinkle. Um,
Yeah, Connor's lemonade stand. I remember that.
but last night I was watching his Friday night show and I donated a coffee. I asked him to shout out the channel because, or promote it because, obviously his show is big, so obviously it fucking helps. So last night,
Hold on. First off, look at this guy bursting at the seams. Who is this guy? Who's wearing that lovely, lovely Burberry scarf with the. Look at those fucking arms.
oh, I forgot who that guy is, but
No,
The
scam,
money.
that's what he is.
But I do need a cigarette as well. Let me add that to this. Did I do that earlier? Because I don't think I tallied this up right at all. So we're gonna start from scratch tallying it up here in a minute. Let me see. Bup, 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 bup. Two. All right, so that adds all that up, and then I can just do the Rumble one, which is okay. That's 82. I'm fucking up tonight. My bad, guys. All right, let's do the coffees. We did those two. Cashman coming in with 10 coffees. Holy shit!
I have a BMW. I have a BMW. Yes!
Let's go break some hearts!
Says, what's up, Mersh? I'm wondering if you could promote my YouTube channel. Thank you in advance, and I hope everyone is well. Yeah, absolutely, buddy. Be so funny if I took
Suck
the
that
fan
thing
and just
down.
ignored him.
Kind of making me jealous.
do what you got to do.
That vape.
Anyway, yeah, that's actually that dude's cool as fuck. I grew up with him. Well, I take that back. I never grew up with him. I think he was closer to my nephew's age. He's older than my nephew, but I think he's closer to my nephew's age.
I love his
But,
nephew, by the way. He's a good guy.
Yeah, Connor Cashman. He's a guy that I didn't hang out with because he was like a real little kid when we were teenagers, right? Like he wasn't like annoying little brother that was like kind of a few years younger. Like he was way younger. So I think he was in like 4th grade when we were in high school, like junior high school. But we grew up. I grew up with his older brothers, and I was really tight with his 2 older brothers, who both seem to be doing really well, by the way. Like, and I kind of bond with those guys too, because they all I don't know, they're we were all from Mastic, right? So their family was like a little fucking like we were all kind of poor, messed up families in that neighborhood. And I'm glad to see that like all 3 of the brothers are doing really good for themselves. Like they're not, you know, they're doing pretty good. Like I like real recognize real. When you get out of the same shitty ass fucking town and get away from a bunch of dysfunction, and you see each other out in the free world, you're like, hey, my man, what's up? So I'm glad kind of. If anybody ever remembers the story when I used to talk about the guys that used to sell their little brother's pee so we could beat drug tests, that's Connor. That's my man right there. So yeah, go to
Connor's
yeah,
Lemonade
Culture
Stand.
Vulture 8855 on YouTube. I just posted it in the chat. That's the dude whose older brothers used to sell his pee whenever you needed fucking drugs. I'd be like, go pee in this cup, dude. And he's like, all right.
So like
I'll
I
go
said
buy
all
you
the
some
time,
fucking
we never
snacks
sold the
or something.
pee. It
Go to
was
the
free.
store. I'll get you like
The pee was free.
My pee was clean and serene.
a soda or
Always had that
slice
good
of pizza.
pee.
I'd be like, cool.
The high octane.
Fill a whole
shit.
fucking 2-liter jug. Yeah, fucking money. But I was back when he really didn't look either. He just went alone in a room, handed over a cold cup of piss later. Nobody cared. Scuba, it's so crazy how many people stay in the same shitty town and people you wouldn't expect to have stayed. I know, man.
Anyway, yeah, that was the little shout out thing that he did yesterday. But yeah, but my piss is. I got good.
High-octane
I got
cream,
good pee.
bro.
What can I say? It's
You got the
clean.
Crystal Pepsi.
I don't cut my piss with
We
nothing.
got a special guest here.
Oh, Tiki Torch,
Oh,
Charlottesville Tiki.
She's gonna say hi.
Damn, she is. She doesn't even care about the mic. God, she's so beautiful. I miss her.
Big mushy girl.
Yeah, that was a. It's so funny because the first time he talked about that story, but those memories for some reason, those are his favorite memories of us.
So, man, yeah, we used to definitely have some good late night chills too. We used to smoke a bunch of metal bowls in the backyard and get into some trouble. I remember a couple times cruising around in the car and fucking grabbing garbage cans and throwing them out of the cars. They're real stupid shit. Stuff to really be proud of, you know. You want to tell your kids.
Everybody's done dumb shit in cars. Like I fucking oh, Mersh is watching. Hey yo, what's up, Mersh? But yeah, dude, everybody's
What's up, dude? Yo, just let him know if he needs pee. Connor's got that clean pee still.
Bro, I got that fucking. My piss is clean. I mean, it's diluted with alcohol now, but yeah,
It's
dude.
probably not the best.
What?
I said they're probably not the best right now.
But he is right about the fucking the way they do drug tests now. Because before I went for this last job, the guy walked in the stall with me, and I was like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?"
Oh, they really.
And
back
then-
then it was nothing.
And then
So I gotta
the fucking military, they watch, they literally bend down and stare at it coming out of your dick, which is super weird.
So years ago, when Dad was with Donna, the other woman, she set up a job interview for me as it was like a manager position at Lowe's or something. So I went there, and I assumed it was a piss test. So I had your pee, classic piss, classic Connor special, and I went there all cocky brazen, and I smoked a fucking bowl on the way there because I was like, I'm good. And I get in the trailer and I'm filling out all the information, and they hit me with a fucking swab, a mouth swab. That was yeah,
Oh,
that was so bad. Explaining to Dad why I failed, and just basically, oh no, it was the test was rigged. It was the fucking test was rigged. But yeah, that was a bad one. That was really bad. That's the only time I've ever been hit with a mouth swab. But yeah, they hit me with that out of a surprise. I kind of wasn't expecting that.
for Lowe's?
Yeah, but you couldn't have a worse test. Like I smoked weed on the way to the thing. I practically pulled like a stem out and a fucking bud on the end of it. Like, here you go. Here's my test. It was so bad, but yeah. So I didn't get that job. Basically, moral of the story: didn't get that job. But I haven't done a drug test in such a fucking long time. I freelanced for so long. Actually,
You freebase for so
next year will
long.
be 10 years freelancing. But before I did start it with Google, well, not with Google, but at Google with first, and so I haven't had to. I didn't drug test obviously for any of those freelance jobs. So it's been over 10 years, and then obviously with this company they don't make you fucking drug test. They don't care.
Yeah, well, nice. By the way,
they just-
also, shout out to Bad Luck Boys, which is Mersh's channel. It's just a live stream of his cats.
Ooh, I'd watch that.
I watch it
I know Tiki would watch that too. Right, Tiki? She's
with
sitting next to me
with
looking
Louis
all,
and Clarence. It's funny. So he
out.
calls his one cat Louis C.K. Not after the comedian, but because the cat was found at a Circle K.
Oh man,
It's witty as shit. I like it.
Circle Ks.
But yeah, fucking I don't know, man. Just
Strange things are afoot. at the
strange
Circle
things.
K.
Strange things are afoot in the United States. Holy shit, man! They had that. What the Chinese are?
I think it's safe to say strange things have been afoot in the United States for
Yeah,
a pretty long time now.
the country's burning. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure you had to have seen that. Everybody's.
New information just into the newsroom. The White House says they shot down a second balloon this afternoon. The Pentagon believes the Chinese were not only trying to watch the U.S., but listen too. They say the antenna on the balloon collects electronic conversations. Solar panels powered the collection sensors. Defense officials say they blocked the balloon from collecting sensitive data as it floated across the country.
It's not a major breach. I mean, look, it's a violation of international law. It's our airspace. And once it comes in our space, we can do what we want.
How does the fucking news play a video of such shit quality? I'm sorry. Like, I'm like looking at it and it's like, oh.
I think the whole story is just shit quality.
Yeah, no,
It sounds very far fetched. A fucking balloon spying, like, what is this, the 1800s? Like, is this around the world in 80 days? And we were spying it with solar panels powered the balloon. Like, this sounds like a project from a junior high kid.
It doesn't even make sense. They were so fucking annoyed at this balloon, but the Chinese have bought farmland near every military base. I'm pretty sure I'm sure they're fucking spying. Plus, from what I hear, they have a secret police station in New York City that rounds up people who have escaped from China. That's a real
Secret
thing.
Dream Police.
Ooh, what's up, Spruce Goose? But yeah, man, I don't. It's so dumb. The only reason they shot it down is because enough people made a fuss. I'm sure the Chinese are already. All of our shit comes from China. I'm sure they're already fucking spying on us. It doesn't fucking matter.
The way they guard airspace, there's no way a balloon from China came over undetected. They would have tried to make contact with some unidentified object just coming into airspace, and then they probably would have had somebody circling it and checking it out. Like, I just don't see that. Just everything about it seems really. I think that they're just probably testing us to see what's the stupidest thing these people are willing to believe, and how far can we go, and then we'll base our next scheme off of that.
Yeah, well, it's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. But you're right. But I mean,
seemed pretty stupid.
It would be kind of smart in the sense that the China's response to it was, "Oh no, it's just a weather balloon that's straight off course." That was kind of smart. I like that little excuse.
A weather straying off course.
It's the same
that's
excuse a drunk
really
guy gives you.
Far thing. I mean,
Well,
I don't know.
Breaking news tonight. An American fighter jet has shot down another unidentified object, this time over Canada. Just one day after a warplane took similar action over Alaska, and 1 week after a Chinese spy balloon was shot down.
And 1
off the
week since you
Carolina
talked to
coast.
me.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says the shootdown happened over the Yukon Territory. In a tweet tonight, Trudeau said he ordered NORAD to take down the object that had violated Canadian airspace. CBS's Christina Ruffini is at the White House with the latest. Christina, good evening.
Good evening, Adriana. In another tweet just a little while ago, Trudeau says he also spoke with President Biden and he thanked NORAD for keeping watch. He says Canadian forces are going to recover and analyze the wreckage of the object, but American forces still haven't recovered the wreckage of the object they shot down on Friday, nor has the Department of Defense provided any more details as to what exactly it was.
Success.
The F-22
Success.
shot down the unidentified
It's so
object
stupid.
the size of a small car.
This is what I don't understand about this, though, because this just happened today. If it's in Canada, why the fuck did the United States scramble jets to fire? Why are we so fucking busy sending shit into other countries? I mean, I guess it's what we do, but fucking doesn't Canada have a fucking Air Force? And isn't Justin Trudeau like so fucking snug with the fucking Chinese anyway? I don't get it. I don't get what's going on. It just seems like they're.
No,
I
it's
personally
it's
think
weird too. It's like it's not just one incident. Now there's 3 incidents very quick. Like it almost just seems like a smoke screen of some sort. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah,
Shady.
hold on. I'm reading the chat. Wouldn't the balloon not show up on most radar and be unconcerning to civilians? Listen. I wasn't concerned by it. I don't know how the whole radar system works that NORAD uses. I mean, they can detect drones, but drones give off electricity. Maybe something with their solar powers or solar panels that they had on it, or maybe the recording equipment. They might have caught something on that, but I just don't get the whole. I don't buy any of it, and I don't understand why we sent jets to the fucking Canada to shoot it out of the sky.
One interesting thing that makes me think about this that I've been thinking about recently is like the way like they change definitions of words. Like, so years ago, the word woke was like you were kind of like onto like conspiracies and stuff. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you were woke, you weren't a sheep. You know, you didn't follow that. You basically you understood. But now woke is like, oh, these shows are woke means like they just kind of include progressive liberal things. You know, transgender and gay and stuff. Which I'm not saying I'm against. But I'm just saying, like, that's kind of the way the definition on that's been changed. It's very, very weird. Almost the way the definition of terrorists was changed years ago. Terrorism was, actions from your government against the people. And now terrorism is like, just some foreign country coming to our country and,
Well, it's not even foreign anymore.
Some sort of a terror. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's probably still backed by our country in some way, supporting it through drugs or whatever.
No. I meant now the word terrorist can mean anybody in the United States too. Anybody who creates terror is a terrorist.
Yeah, but it used to mean terrorism.
Homegrown.
Acts from your government.
Bruce Goose knows.
Same thing like I said, I woke too. That's another thing. Like woke was completely different 10 years ago. Maybe not even 10 years ago. Even less than that. But
by the way, I have to comment. The name Spruce Goose is fucking hilarious. That is a great Simpsons reference. When Mr. Burns locks himself away in the casino and he's like, Smithers, I called it the Spruce Goose. Get in. God damn, that is I'm sitting there looking at the name and I'm like,
Howard Hughes nod.
Yeah, the fucking germs when it zooms in on Smithers' head. The Freemasons run everything.
That's another wild story. Howard Hughes. I mean, the way that guy went down, and so he ton of money as I think it was a film director, and this is like millions back in what the 40s or 50s, 60s,
30s, 40s, and then he ended up buying he liked one of the casinos so much he brought the adjacent hotel.
Yep.
And he just peed in jars.
Yeah, he would. They said he had clear liquid in jars everywhere that was probably his pee, and then he would also inject himself with syringes full of clear liquid. They didn't know what it was, and he would just do this randomly throughout the day, and then he would just like eat weird things for like weeks on end. Like there was a point where I think it was a weird, like maybe banana type flavored ice cream or something.
Yeah.
But it was a specific ice
Tissue
cream.
box shoes.
And he was obsessed with this ice cream, and he would eat it for weeks on end. He ordered like a pallet of it or more to this hotel, and then he just didn't want it anymore. He grew tired of it and had them just give it out to people. And there was a free ice cream day at that hotel, and people didn't know it was really just because it was Howard Hughes' extra ice cream that he didn't want to fucking eat. I'm not even joking about that. It's just he's like, I'm fucking done with this. It was like all these extra tubs of ice cream that this guy was just obsessed with, and it was like, no, I'm tired of this.
I
Shit.
couldn't even fucking picture having that amount of money where you're like, dude, I really love this. Can you just get me a pallet? Fly the fucking pallet in.
But when you see what his worth was back then, it was pretty impressive too.
I'm
He's a
actually looking it
smart
up.
guy. I want to say he was like involved in films or something. I want to say it's films and also Spruce Gooses and Spruce Mooses.
So, goddamn, he once gave a stranger $150 million for a ride.
And what year did he die?
1976.
Yeah, so
His net worth,
okay.
I don't know what it was back then, but now it would be $11 billion. But yeah, fucking Howard
was it
Hughes.
movies or was it architecture? What
I-
was it?
I could have swore it was movies and inventions, but let me see. It says that he was CEO of Summa Corporation. So he owned hotels, casinos. He was an aircraft guy.
He was just smart then. Before he went nuts.
Before he started putting shoe boxes on his penis.
I mean, don't you?
I still
Well,
do.
it's
Yeah.
not the
Oh, of
shoe-
course. What do you think?
It's not shoe. There was tissue boxes on his penis.
Tissue boxes on
It
his
was just
penis.
because he ran out of tissues. Because he was trying to.
He was getting ready.
He was trying to fill his eclairs.
But yeah, we got off a little topic, but that whole thing with that
People in movies are fucking weird, dude. They're all weird.
all
I
of
actually heard
Hollywood's
that
fucking
Steve
weird.
Buscemi, you know, he's got big eyes. I heard that Steve Buscemi actually hires somebody to sit there and spray his eyes and keep them moist for him. When he blinks, it's like a big watery mess. Water goes everywhere. It's like these big, wet frog eyes, you know.
The fucking everybody behind the camera has those fucking like pull over fucking rain parkers and shit. They're like, "Ooh, just stay away from
They
him."
have to cover the lens and constantly wipe them and stuff. It's a big mess whenever he does like a scene where he's, you know, on for more than a couple minutes. He's just blinking so much and he's just splashing water everywhere. It's a nightmare.
I used to do a
And then
Steve
they
Buscemi
constantly have a
impression.
person that goes in there and just sprays those big wet eyes and keeps them nice and wet. And I think he actually, when he blinks, it sounds like it's pretty weird. And he blinks sideways too. It's a big mess with that guy.
I respect him for the simple fact that after 9/11 happened, he went back to his old because he was a volunteer firefighter. He went back to the fire thing and never told anybody. And he was going through the rebel and shit like that, and all of a sudden somebody snapped a picture of him, and he's like, "I'm on the fucking news."
I've seen that. That's very impressive. I think that's cool stuff, you know.
But yeah, but going back to the whole fucking my final thoughts on this whole China thing with the balloon, I think they're either gonna push us into some sort of fucking war,
Yeah,
or
I mean, it's
or somehow at the end, I think Democrats are gonna save the day, quote unquote. Like, oh no, we worked out a deal with China and it's all good. And
yeah, I think it all smells like shit to me.
the United States is like just one big fucking TV show sitcom. They're like, what can we do for ratings?
Yeah.
Fucking stupid shit. I like that China
smells-
trolled the U.S. though
smells
right
like-
after that, and they said they posted a picture on something that they own of a big balloon, and they're like, we were just trying to give you a balloon to cheer you up, and it's like, you fucking assholes. You
But
guys-
it came through and it said like Happy Valentine's Day. And I'm like, sorry, it was just a little early. It was gonna eventually float to you and get you there on the 14th, and we're so sorry. We apologize. I think that'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't even be that upset.
Dude, I have all right. So, fuck the whole China thing. Fuck it all smells like shit to me. But I have this one.
Smells like Bigfoot's dick.
It most certainly does. Dude, you're gonna love this. I saw this and I was like, this is fucking awesome. This is a dog named Ghost. And
Tonight, an unusual story of survival. An all-white dog spotted for months living among coyotes in the open desert, occasionally making its way to the outskirts of one Henderson neighborhood with its unlikely friends. The elusive creature appears to not only have been accepted by the pack, but by some accounts, leading it. Only on Fox 5, Kim Passoff brings us Ghost's story.
I saw 3 coyotes right there.
2 coyotes running down the street in the Inspirata neighborhood in Henderson. Nothing too unusual about that, but pay close attention to the last of the pack. That is not a coyote. It is a white dog known as Ghost. Here he is, captured on a trail cam. Ghost white tail and back, a stark contrast to the dark night. Again, he is captured on camera with 2 coyotes.
Dog fucking
It's
rules.
believed he was dumped in the desert as a puppy, and the coyotes took him in as one of their own.
It seems like he might have been.
Hold on, before we go on. If you fucking get a dog and you dump it, you're just a piece of shit. Like, you're a fucking scumbag.
It's
Out
sad
there
to have-
between-
That's such a common thing. Those people need to be kind of wiped out.
Yeah, well, that's the crazy thing. So Long Island, I found out, because obviously, like, you know, Mastic and Shirley stuff, when it was created by Walter Shirley, it was just a vacation destination. So all the houses are bungalows. So people used to come from Manhattan, and they would buy their kid a dog for the summer, and then they would just let the dog, they would leave. They go back to New York, and they'd leave the dog there. And
So
I
you know what's
found out that
crazy?
there
So-
used to be packs of wild fucking dogs and just patrolling Mastic.
I was just gonna say, when I was a kid, when I was very young, I remember going through Mastic. There was always wild dogs everywhere. Not like everywhere, like crazy amounts of them, but I don't see wild dogs anywhere. Like, it's a very rare thing. It's usually someone's dog gets lost, but that was such a common thing. And in fact, you and I encountered a pack of wild dogs in that abandoned house at one time. in the
Oh,
woods,
yeah.
remember?
Holy shit, I forgot
There
about
was-
that.
So we didn't find the dogs, but we found like the trail of like 3 to 5 dogs, like their tracks through the snow in through this abandoned house and leading out. We were like, went in there like hoping they're not in there still. Like, all right, hello.
Do you remember what else
But,
we found in that house? If it's the same house I'm thinking of, the one by the water?
Butt plugs and dildos and vibrators.
Big butt
old
plugs
school
and
from the
dildos
80s.
all over the
Yeah.
floor.
Actually, yeah, I think that's the better story. Yeah, that was good. We should just take those walks down there. We found that one abandoned house, and it was like wide open, small little shack, like 2-bedroom, tiny thing, and there was still a bunch of stuff in there. But yeah, there was like a box of pleasure toys from like late 80s, early 90s. They were like generic, cheesy, but it was like a butt plug, a vibrator. Yeah.
Dude, it was the biggest butt
so
plug, by the
fun,
way, I've
yeah.
ever fucking seen in my entire... It was unreasonable. I remember looking at that thing on the floor, and I was like, what?
To be honest, any butt plug is too big and unreasonable. I don't care if it looks like a pin; it's still too fucking big.
My butt is for pooping. But yeah, dude, that never made sense. I remember you and I walking out of there scratching our heads like, what the fuck did we just come across? What the fuck happened?
Yeah, I remember we used to take those walks down there, and like that was the old school abandoned house. That's another thing. So growing up too in there, in that town, there was a bunch of abandoned houses everywhere. That was just a very common thing. James and I used to go through them all the time. In fact, there was one on the corner next to where the Fausts live, and we went in there. That house had gone on fire. The guy who owned the liquor store in town, he was like part owners of a hardware store in Riches, but they had a really cool basement with a full bar. And James and I had like taken a Dennis the Menace comic we found. I mean, this is after the house went on fire, so we just like scrounging through stuff. The comic was from the 50s. They also had a like columns in their library upstairs. Like everything was really, really cool about that house. But there was just like a ton of like abandoned houses, like not even houses that were on fire, just like abandoned house everywhere. Yeah, stray dogs, just also a lot more woods. There was woods everywhere. Now there's just no fucking woods. It's all just
Dude,
sprawl.
years ago, you told me a fucked up story about the woods in front of the house.
Talk about 2 dudes getting it on.
2 dudes getting it on with their shopping bags on the ground.
Yeah, so that's a true story. That's a sad one. So I was pretty young. I was like, I don't know, 7th grade, guessing, and maybe 8th grade. But so I go outside to take the garbage, and I just hear slapping, mostly like just slapping sounds and stuff, and people talking. And I look across the street. Across the street, there was a lot of bushes, but literally, I mean, this sounds so far fetched, but it goes on. And there was another dude just basically banging another dude, and they had like 2 grocery bags next to him, one guy's pants down, just whatever, getting on. I ran and told my mom. She called the cops. The cops show up. They eventually went across the street and they found the 2 empty grocery bags with like, I forget what it was, like empty snacks, because we had scared them off. But they also found a pair of underwear. It was very, very odd. I remember my mom was like, she definitely didn't believe me at first until she found underwear. Well, the cop found underwear. It was like it started unraveling and really ringing true. But I'm not denying that one bit. It wasn't fake. There was, I guess 2 dudes were walking to the store, or I don't know if they met up, but decided to just bang in the bushes across the street late at night. Here's another one. This one's good. Down by John Fernandez's house. There's those like water bulrush areas. Like
Yeah, little marshes.
So we're down there. I'm with I think George Fluke, and we're riding our bikes. It's late at night. It's like 9:30 on in July, and we find the ice cream truck pulled over, and we go pull our bikes off and we walk up to the ice cream truck. It's super quiet. We go up to the window, and the ice cream man is banging out this DWAP prostitute looking chick. I guess it was a prostitute, but he's banging out this big chick. She's right on top of the fucking freezer that he grabs all the ice cream from, and he's banging around. We just walk up there, we scare him, and he's trying to get us to leave, and we basically threatened him to give us ice cream, and he did. We said we'd leave him alone. He gave us ice cream, but then we also didn't leave him alone, so he starts leaving, and we followed this truck the whole way on our bikes for like 5 minutes till he was out of town. It was so good. Banging a fucking prostitutes in an ice cream truck.
How do you feel that you made an ice cream man lose his boner?
I think it was great because very unsanitary. We got free ice cream, and then it was funny for us. It was pretty good. That one we were like 8th, 9th grade. That was pretty good. I wish I could get George Fluke on for that one. Like, remember that time? Because that was pretty wild. We fucking lost it.
7 and 8 months, and somehow or another, the coyotes just accepted him. The first report of him that was on Nextdoor was back in July.
For the last 7 months, when neighbors in Inspirata spotted Ghost, they posted sightings of the elusive animal on neighborhood groups. But true to his name, every time someone would approach him, Ghost would disappear.
By October, people were reporting he was there all the time running with the coyotes at night. He was actually just running with them and eating with them, but then he started to limp. And we were afraid, limping, that the coyotes could turn on him.
He was now spotted moving slowly and laying down often. Neighbors shared these maps of the paths Ghost would take with animal rescue group, the Southern Nevada Trapping Team.
So as we're actually out here looking, there's one of our coyote friends. So we're thinking this is the path they're taking.
They searched near homes and the open desert for days and hours on end.
We were very nervous about where he was, how he was.
The first place we tracked him down, he was sleeping down in a ravine, but he got spooked out of there.
On Saturday night, all of their efforts paid off. Ghost walked into this crate baited with food.
When he got into that crate, he just sat down. I think he was also relieved.
It's just that adrenaline and excitement and relief. It was just a relief to get him out of there.
Despite living out in the desert for months with a pack of coyotes, Ghost is as friendly as can be. He takes to every human that he sees.
He is the sweetest,
Still fucking rules,
most
man.
loving dog. He comes up to you. He wants to be petted. He wants to be held. He's good in the car. You wouldn't even know that that's where he came from. He's just another dog. He likes people. He didn't want anybody to catch him out there, but he does like people.
We met Ghost at Your Service Pet Supply in Henderson just 3 days after his rescue. He roamed the aisles at Timmy's on Darius' side, straight from the wild, yet acting like a civilized gentleman.
He's a good boy.
But living for 7 months among coyotes did not come without cost.
Got some teeth mark on the other side, too.
Yeah, he's definitely been through a lot.
Fights have scarred his face and body. He also has an ear infection, eye infection, skin issues. His scrotum needs to be removed entirely, and a broken toe needs to be amputated.
Yeah, I suffer
He's
from
got some rocks in his belly because he was probably hungry and ate some rocks. So we're just going to watch those, and hopefully those will pass so we don't have to have yet another surgery.
I also have the same issue with rocks. I was hungry before. Definitely ate some
Showing no signs of aggression, and given his young age, once his medical work is complete, he will be up for adoption.
I know, I love you. I know yours okay. You're okay.
But transitioning from living with coyotes to living with humans will take work.
He's not crate trained, he's not leash trained, he doesn't sleep at night. He's very stressed. He paces, he pants. He's just, nighttime is really hard for him.
We would like for him to be adopted in a loving home where he's going to have a bed, a couch, people to hold him. I believe he's going to be the best dog because they are the most grateful. The ones that are rescued, they feel it.
And Ghost harbors no resentment towards humans despite being left for dead in the desert. He is ready to stop roaming and find a family who loves him in his forever home. Kim Passoff, Fox 5 News, local.
Dude, that dog.
He should be pissed, though. He should be pissed at the people that dropped him. That should be his effort. He should hire detectives, find the people that dropped him off, and just bite the shit out of them.
That dog fucking rules, man.
Yeah.
That dog
deserves the world.
That dog is awesome. He was like, I guess I'm a fucking I'm a coyote now. Holy shit. That's awesome. I'm glad that the dog was so.
He's like, they don't even fucking know I'm a dog.
He's like, bro, this shit is fucking wild. But it's cool to like catch him and he's just friendly. He's like, oh, look at me, I'm a dog.
That's one of those dogs that's seen some shit.
Vietnam. Nighttime's hard. He gets Vietnam flashbacks.
That's good. He doesn't sleep at night and like.
Yeah, because he's nocturnal now. He's a nocturnal emission.
Oh, yeah.
What is this
I don't know
one?
about this.
This one just popped up. Let's see.
Here clearing brush, and the first time.
That is a silly
the
looking
first time
man.
the coyotes were out in the cul-de-sac was about 9 o'clock.
Looks like a gnome.
And
his beard was longer.
They
like he'd
did
be
what
a
coyotes
great
usually do
gnome.
when you come out. They ran away. And
Cool
that's
hat.
good. You know, we threw some things at them and.
He looks like a
yelled
fucking
at 'em,
Chechnyan.
and they were just typical coyotes running away, looking over their shoulder and kind of taunting you, but
So I
still
was,
running away, right?
I was in Rhode Island with
and then about-
Frank and Joe, actually in the band, but this is years ago. And they were at McDonald's after a gig we played. They were getting food. And I'm rolling a joint in the backseat of the car. They don't smoke. And the guy at the McDonald's is cool, like, dude, like maybe a little younger than me. And I was like, bro, you want to smoke a joint? He's like, fuck yeah. And he takes his headset off, drops it, comes outside. Somebody else starts covering his shift. So we're smoking a do outside of the car. And they get their car pulled over. These two coyotes come running through the parking lot. And I'm just looking around, like, the guy at the McDonald's is like, yeah, it's normal. And, like, Joe and Frank are like, what the fuck? Like, are we tripping? Like, they weren't smoking. I'm like, what the fuck? But, yeah, it was funny. That dude was like, I'm fucking smoking. He just bounced right on his job.
There was they just spotted one in Westbury, and then they spotted another coyote in fucking the Bronx. Which I would be scared of a coyote from the Bronx. Yo,
Hipster.
dead ass B,
Hipster.
give me some fucking food, B.
Tiggy is trying desperately to come up in the seat. This seat is hers, this computer chair.
So let her up on your
obsessed
lap. She's cool.
with it. No, she says offensive things. I can't have her on the podcast.
I want to know what happened with this.
2:30, 3 o'clock, somewhere in there, I was woken up by the dogs barking and came out here, and Casper and Daisy had the sheep backed up in that corner over there, and there's just 5 or 6 of them there at the time, and Daisy was staying close to the sheep, and Casper was out a little further out front this way, and when I got about somewhere around here, there were coyotes inside the pen and coyotes
Long story
outside.
short.
Yeah,
wasn't-
I know.
like
I
said,
don't know why they didn't report this like a
I wasn't
regular
really
story.
afraid that they were going to attack me or anything, but they weren't responding. They were focused on Casper, I think, as much as anything. And he charged into the middle of them and killed some right in here, and then came out. They jumped out of the fence. Some ran that way, and some ran this way over the fence, and he just came out the fence here and killed more, and then they had a fight all up and down this creek. And
Bro, what the fuck?
It
That's his
wasn't a
dog?
short thing. It was half hour.
Yeah.
You know, it was a while that this was going on, and he just. I mean, I went out to try to get him back and try to make sure he was okay, and just eventually couldn't find him. So the next day,
I can't watch this
we
guy
thought
anymore.
we could find him.
He
We
told
thought-
me, you know, he just said that 30 minutes, but you couldn't find them, but you know it was going on for 30 minutes, and then it happened. You said it was in the backyard, and then this and that, and then it was out in the front. It sounds like you just kind of let it happen. It sounds like you were a scumbag piece of shit. You could have broken it up at any point. Also, why'd you let your dog out to go fight coyotes and kill them? What the fuck?
Well, he's
What
a
did you do with
farmer.
that guy?
No, he's a farmer. You have to protect your livestock.
Oh, I didn't realize he was a farmer.
But the reason why I clicked it, because I've never seen that one. The reason why I clicked it, it said that the dog killed 11 fucking coyote. That dog is awesome, dude.
What kind of dog is that?
I don't know, but I don't know why all these dog things are popping up on my YouTube.
Vicious, but I understand he definitely needs to protect his livestock. So
I don't know why my YouTube algorithm has suddenly become dog stories.
Gets steak dinner for the next like 10 years. 11 coyotes. You get steak dinner for every coyote you killed for a year.
Yeah, but I don't know why my YouTube has just become dogs all of a sudden. But I clicked this because of the fucking.
Looking at the sweetest and oldest doggy face on earth right now. Bobby, the Portuguese guard dog, can legally rent a car in the US. He's 30. When his dog was born in a tiny village in central Portugal, Leonel Costa was only 8. Little did he know the beloved pup would literally grow up to make history. Back then, Costa's family had many animals and little money, so his father used to bury newborn puppies rather than keep them. But Bobby was smart, realized what he was doing, and hid among a pile of firewood. Costa and his siblings found him a few days later and kept it a secret until the puppy opened its eyes. Cut to several decades later, when Costa got in touch with officials at the Guinness World of Records, submitted all the paperwork, which is how Bobby was officially named the oldest dog on record. Costa told Reuters he's so proud of the feat that he can't explain it, especially since some people told them they would not make it. Guinness World Records called Bobby's story miraculous. In fact, Bobby broke an almost century-old record held by an Australian cattle dog that died at 29 years and 5 months in 1939. Bobby's breed usually has a life expectancy of 12 to 14 years. Costa attributes his longevity to several things, like living in the calm countryside, never having been chained or kept on a leash, and always eating people food. Although Bobby still loves walks, his age does show. Bobby is not as adventurous, his fur is thinning, eyesight worsened, and he needs some more rest. Costa hopes Bobby has many more years of snuggles, sniffing around, and silliness. Still, Costa would love for Bobby to live forever. He has already scampered into our hearts. Besides, Bobby is...
God, I hate that woman. Dude, I don't know. Again, I don't know why it became fucking about dogs. What do you do? The dog passes away. It's like, I've literally had you my whole life.
I don't think you can get on the dog because you can't expect that same thing. In that time, you could have had 3 dogs. You know, I'm not saying like, oh, you should have, but I'm just saying 3. That's the normal. It would have been 3 dogs, but 31 years.
210.
Like
210 in dog years.
Their animals live that long, and he looks spry. Like he'll go on for another couple of years. He looks good.
It's so funny.
Dog that's 21, you expect him to be pretty, unmobile and things like that. But 31, he's just chilling. Look at that face.
It's funny too because I named the episode Balloons. I should have just named it fucking Cool Dogs. These dogs are fucking cool, man.
Bobby.
Look at him. God damn, that dog is awesome.
He's a sweet one. I think it's a good one to end it on.
I got one. Well, I showed you this, but this is a fucking channel I really think that everybody should go subscribe to is Dinosaur Club. You love this too, which is... I thought you'd be like, oh, that's fucking stupid.
I love using a public urinal, and I pull my cock out, and as I pull it out, I back up so other guys can see it in the bathroom, and I look at my penis, and I put it in my head, and I say to it, may I have this dance?
And on that note...
What was this one?
It's probably your diaper.
It's not my diaper.
Oh, you've got new.
Oh, you do
wait.
have.
There you go.
I saw a really good
We'll
fight
end on
last
this.
week on the train, and it was the best combination of people. It's homeless, mentally ill gay or perhaps early in the transitioning stage to a woman, and a giant fat mother of 2 with her kids there.
Gay guy versus fat lady is a really funny fight.
And
little gay guy versus huge fat lady is
little
awesome
gay guy,
fight.
like which was the best. And then he was walking around the train. He's like, "Oh, I bet you want this pussy, like, but you can't have it." Like getting in everyone's face, just like being crazy.
Right.
And then gets in the mom's face, and she stands up. She's like, "I am not the one." She said, "I am not the one." And then you know I have this face where like,
oh yeah,
people see me looking and then they try to
they're like, what
bring
the
me
fuck
into
do you
the,
want
into the situation. So I'm just
you're like snickering and filming it on you.
No.
You're 2 feet
That is
away.
I've learned my lesson. I'm like
So
looking
you're
down.
FaceTiming with.
I'm like looking down. I'm like no eye contact. Like my headphones are obviously off.
Jordan,
I'm going
you
to
don't know
listen.
this, but black people have a natural.
No, yeah, it's
antipathy
not
for
about
Adam.
race. It's not about race.
You're right.
It's not about race.
It's
You look like,
most
you look
people.
like the guy who like imaginary drums on the train.
I don't do
You know?
that. I don't. Listen, I've been living in New York long enough. How like just look at the ground. You
Yeah.
know. Anyway, so she's like getting in his face. She's like, I'll catch a fucking case. She's like, I've been in jail twice. She's like with her 2 kids, 2 little ass kids. She's like, I got it. I went to jail twice for intent. You think I'll
Jesus
And then
Christ.
she starts looking around the car at this mom, and then the
gay guy
mom.
is the one who says he's been to jail?
No, the mom says that.
Okay.
And then the gay guy's like, bitch, you wish you could look like me. You wish you looked like me. You wish you had all this, whatever. And then she like looks around the phone. She's like, everybody, get your phones out. You're about to see a hate crime. And then she just starts yelling. And then I'm sitting next to this African guy. He has his phone out. He's like, oh, he's like, this is good, man. This is good. He said, this is good, man. He was like elbowing me to say. I was like, yeah, I see it. I don't want to. This is good, man.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
She just starts yelling, J Street Metro Tech, get out. She's like, get out. I will end your life. I don't care that I have my kids with me. J Street Metro Tech.
Oh fuck.
She said, yeah, and then
What was the gay guy doing?
the gay guy was being crazy and just saying how everyone wants to fuck him.
What
and
was he saying when she was saying this stuff to him?
And she's like, bitch, you wish. The gay guy kept saying, you wish you looked like me. Like,
just in their own world, this person.
Saying that she's fat. She wished, like, her husband.
Right,
I bet your man would want to fuck me. And, like, anyway, but,
It's
like.
like the Buffalo Bill kind of the talk.
Yeah, but, like, much smaller than this woman. And then, like, midway through, I don't know if she's stuffing a bra or if she's like having hormones or whatever, but she's these like little tits.
Okay.
And she like gets in the woman's face and then just like the woman just slaps the soul out of her. Like
the mom slaps the fuck out of her.
Slaps the like.
He's like oh my God, thank you. I'm free.
He's like, honey, it's Eric. I'm coming home.
Insane.
On that midnight train to Georgia.
Dude.
All right, we're gonna leave on that midnight train to Georgia.
Yep. So that was Cumtown. Before Cumtown was the greatest podcast. God damn, you cannot make a podcast like that ever again. Let's wrap this episode up. Coming up on the hour anyway. On an hour. What did you say? Sorry.
I said, well, I'm Sean.
I'm Connor. Like, subscribe, share this out, and catch you next Saturday. Actually, next Friday, because I am starting this thing where I'm slowly introducing G to all the IRL people. Like I said, so I showed her all of fucking Blade yesterday. Like that was basically what the show was about Blade, and then got a good I gotta give a shout out after this. So showed her all of Blade and then Attila and Jewel, and it's great because if you're one of those people who don't dive into the deepest pockets of the internet, that episode is fucking hilarious. Because I thought maybe she wouldn't like any of the IRL shit because it's too chaotic, and then she ended up really enjoying it. Before we go, The 2023 punch list for Path We Choose, which features my good friend Sam Powitz. Their tour dates are up and coming. March 27th, they will be at Brooklyn Monarch Body Snatchers. April 16th, Reverb at Reading, PA. April 21st, DE Halftime, which I'm guessing is Delaware. I would put this in the chat, but for some reason it keeps signing me out. April 23rd. April 22nd, Philly, the Rusty Nail. April 23rd, Brooklyn. May 20th, PA Gin Mill. June 17th, PA. June 24th, Connecticut. June 29th, they'll be playing Long Island, your neck of the woods. June 30th, Mechanicsburg, which I think is near me, so I'm going to attempt to go to that one. July 1st, Baltimore. And July 2nd, Richmond, Virginia. That is Path We Choose with my good friend Sam. Also, he has a game.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're a friend of mine and you have a band, I will always promote friends.
What are their handles? How do you find them? Path We Choose, right?
So you're gonna go on, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you look up Path We Choose. Then Sam actually runs, if you want to watch Sam's solo stuff, which is him playing guitar, drums, gaming.
That's Pornhub, right?
It's on efuck.com.
Pornhub, yeah. I've
You're gonna,
opened a bunch of times on Pornhub.
but you're gonna look up Path We Choose Gaming. He does awesome fucking gaming streams. I watch him. I always share stuff. I always promote it out there, as a friend should to another friend. Do you have any shows coming up or no?
Yeah, just some basic ones. We always got shows coming up, but yeah, nothing. Nothing good. Just,
Okay. It's pretty.
Well, it's just I'm trying to look at our schedule. I think it's just some basic bar shows. Summer's good for us, but
Anybody who I know who has a band or anything, if I know the show's not big and it's just started, but if you have something, DM me on
our next
Facebook or
show
Twitter.
is just a local one in town. Then we have a wedding shower or a bridal shower, parties, and then a bunch of Fire Island shows, and
Bunch of Cherry Grove shows.
you know how we do, dude. G-strings, but yeah, let's end this one.
Yeah. Am I calling you after this, or are you going to bed?
Hit me up.
Okay, I will. That was this episode of Culture Vulture. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you'll tune in next Friday at around 9:30 for that IRL deep dive, and then again on Saturday at 9 p.m. I, of course, again am Connor, and this is
Shawnee boy.
Shawnee Boy, and you,
Chaz,
just witnessed the finest infotainment. Have a good
and a
night.
sex crime.